Y'all already know what it is. What it is, and what it's always gonna be. It's another night. Another moment. I am your host, Big Smash. I'll explain all this later podcast. Christmas Eve. Shout out to everybody that's celebrating Christmas. I know y'all out here doing it big for these kids. Yeah. I'm kid free right now. Can't tell you how good that feels, but it's sad at the same time because I actually miss the kids. Shout out to my kids. All of them. I love y'all. Now, taking y'all on a journey. It's been a journey. What we've done the last few weeks is create an atmosphere where everybody loves music, so we use music to story, to message, to bring light to what we trying to do. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, I'll give y'all a brief recap on what it is that we've been doing these last few nights. We took y'all on how to talk to someone that you're really digging. We had Jodeci come and talk to me, help with that. Then once we did that, we had the vibe, and we had to make sure that the vibe was good and that people are who they say they are. We had music, Soul Child's Buddy, to help us out with that. And then as we slowly phasing in and trying to see what's real and what isn't real, Mary J gave us a little lesson on what real love is and how to pinpoint it. So as we dive in tonight, this is where you stop being a contact and you're moving towards start being a commitment. The difference between having a friend and having a boo. If they can't claim you, they can't keep you. Tonight, let's talk about it though. Does a title change how you treat a person? Yes or no? In a sense, it does. Because I'm not going to treat you more than a friend if you're not more than a friend. I'm not going to treat you like you my girl if we're just having relations. I'm not going to be giving you husband and wife titles, you know what I'm saying, if we aren't moving towards that direction. So I think tonight, let's talk about it. Tonight's backdrop is Usher and Alicia Keys, my boo, right? Lamp, what up? So starts off, it says, there's always that one person that will always have your heart. You never see it coming because you blinded from the start. I think that's a powerful opening line. The title means you are the one. You're not one of many. If you're still in a rotation, you don't have a title. Let's clear that up. Exclusivity is the first requirement of my boo, my baby, my love, my life, my heart, whatever you want to call it. That's the first requirement, right? You don't get that by sitting down with everybody that you come across. When he said, always have your heart, a title just isn't a word. In all honesty, it's a deed to the property. You know, when you give someone a title, you are giving them emotional ownership. You are saying this space is reserved for just you. All right. Now, if you don't plan on seeing what it is that you have and actually building something with this person, do not give your deed over to a squatter. Okay? Squatters, they love this they time and yet it's their time to shine. You know, this is their moment. All right. He separated us from y'all in the song. He said, I don't know about y'all, but I know about us. Us is a key phrase throughout this whole episode. You're going to hear it a lot from me because this episode is most certainly about an us and not just me or you. He's speaking plural. You know what I'm saying? Title creates a team. So it's two against the world. If your partner is more concerned with what y'all, the streets, friends, family, the dog, if he's more concerned about what they are more concerned about what they think than what we think when we're the ones putting in the work, you don't have a title. You need a partner who protects the us. And I think that's important because that is the job, protecting the us. Okay, it's easy to jump from person to person, relationship to relationship, people to people, however you want to deal with it. It's easy to do that. But what about that one person? All right. We rocking together. That's publicly, that's privately. If they hide you, they really not on your side. Okay? If they hide you, you are being held captive. They are your captor. Okay? A title, it demands sunlight, right? And I ain't really, listen, it's a difference between being hidden and being private. Okay, if your relationship being private works for you, cool. But you still should never be afraid to show what you have. You know what I'm saying? A title demands sunlight. If they can't post you, introduce you, or claim you, I don't really think y'all as locked in as you would like to think that you are. All right. Whatever the title is, it implies lasting impact. All right. Stop accepting temporary titles. Okay. What I mean by that is sneaky link, little shit, situation. Honestly, all that shit is temporary. All right. My lady, my man, my girl, my boo, those titles hold a little weight. They not wife or husband or nothing like that, but they hold a little weight more than just, oh yeah, we just kicking it. Nah, you gotta have a little bit more weight than that. Especially when you're over 30. You gotta have a little bit more weight than that. All right. Upgrade your vocabulary to upgrade your relationship. If you 30 something years old plus, you shouldn't be using sneaky link and all that shit anyway. Like, you're over 30. Come on, man. The most important word in this is my. Okay, that is a possessive word. Yes, it is. But it's possessive in a healthy way. I think it means more of I'm responsible for you. I am responsible for your heart. If they just say shit like, oh, that's just such and such, they don't really give a fuck about you. But this is my girl, this is my man, this is my lady, this is my guy. Shit like that got a little bit more grab to it. You know? They aren't taking responsibility if they ain't coming correctly. And I'm just going to keep it a buck with you when I say that. And it ain't, like I said, it ain't to It ain't to get on your nerves or downgrade whatever it is y'all got going on. It's just I'm letting you know that sometimes things are not what they seem. If like I said last night, if a person ain't putting the effort in to tell you exactly what y'all got going on, it ain't as deep as you think it is. Real talk. It ain't as deep as you think it is. It is what it is. They squat at this point. When you demand a title, you got to remind them of the investment, all the work that you put in. I've given you my time. I've given you my loyalty. I've given you my heart. I've given you my money. I've given you my body. I've given you everything that I have, right? I need to know what it is we are building. Leverage your history to secure your future. You already know how I'm coming about you. So don't play with me. Don't waste my time. If we aren't moving past, the just talking stage, then what the hell are we doing? All right, so look, right? If you have the talk, right? Y'all sit down, y'all talking. Y'all finally, because y'all two adults, I'm assuming y'all are two adults. And y'all sit down and y'all have a conversation as to what exactly it is that you're trying to do. Once you have that conversation, you get more clarity. But in order to do that, you have to have the conversation. Okay? If you have the talk and let's say one of y'all say, you know what? I ain't into labels. Then you have your answer. They are denying the claim. They don't want to be in a relationship. They like what y'all got going on. They like what y'all doing. Why further it and complicate it with a label? Well, I'm here to tell you, I was one of them dudes that moved like that, and it never ended well. So I will tell you this. If you put out forth effort and ask them, all right, what are we doing here? And they dancing around, they aren't trying to evolve. You cannot be trying to build something with someone that just wants to stay just friends with benefits. If y'all reach that level and benefits are here, yeah, they just like the benefits. They ain't looking for the title. Get away. Accept the denial. Exit the building. And that's for men and women. Get away. Straight up. So if that's how they moving, that's how they moving. It's not a so that's how it goes, a title is a boundary and you have to use that. Okay, it tells the world that you are taken, and it tells your partner that they are safe. If you want the security of a relationship or a partner or anything like that, you have to sometimes demand that shit, because you have people out here that will most definitely play around with it. They will most definitely take their time and take their understanding and act as if everything is all good. If it's not, okay? If you are looking for more, right? You got to say that. Sometimes people accept things just to say that they have someone. I've seen it one too many times. I've seen it 10, 12, 13, 50 million times, where people will stay into things and they'll stay into things just because they don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be afraid. They don't want to be by themselves. So a lot of times, men and women, they will accept whatever comes with dealing with someone just to say that they have someone. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen that, where people get in relationships and they'll act like they're happy, they act like they're good, and they act like everything is working, but in all actuality, they're being captured. They're being captured for the moment. You have a captor. You don't have a partner. You have a captor. I think sometimes people get that confused, because that's not love. So I will say this. Sometimes you got to block out the noise. A title protects the relationship from outside interference. If you have a title, you are standing to tell messy friends and family, because they exist, to back off. If they don't claim you, they cannot defend you. A title sometimes is a shield. You know what I'm saying? It around the us. So you have a shield around the us, which is you and that person. And then it is to protect from the y'all, the haters, the exes, the wannabes, the ones that want you but can't seem to finally get you, the ones that standing in the cut hoping that this mother sucker a mess up. Yeah, it'll protect that from them. All right, you don't wait in line. You got the priority pass. This is you. You don't wait in line. You don't wait for a text back. You know what I'm saying? You get the prime weekend spots, the prime hours, the free time hours. You know what I'm saying? It's a VIP pass to life. If you still waiting in general admission with everybody else, you don't have a title. You are just a fan with a ticket. You brought a ticket to the show, but it doesn't give you priority. Okay? Possession is not control. I want y'all to stop, figure this out right now. Possession is not control. All right? Possession is not control. It's care. Think about it. When I say, for example, you could say my car, I wash it, I change the oil, I protect it. When I say my lady, that's something that is being nurtured. If they don't say my with whatever it is, they don't want to do the maintenance. Again, you still in general admission. You ain't in VIP yet. You still with everybody else trying to wait to get in. You a fan with a ticket. A title signifies a willingness to take care of the heart. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done worked all y'all way from the talking stage to the talking on the phone to the kicking it to getting to know each other. And now you freely deciding like, okay, look, let's do it. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we get lost though when we do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a vision. You will always be. That's a key word in this song. You will always be. This is long-term thinking. Buddy wasn't thinking day to day. He a title shifted his mindset from now to forever. If they can't speak in future tense, then you got to wonder when they planning they exit. Okay? A title anchors you in their future plans, bada bing, bada boom, whatever. The biggest benefit of a title, right? Stability. Okay? Stability. It's the biggest benefit. What's better than being stable? You know what I'm saying? What's better than being stable? Without a title, every argument you go through, even if you do have a title, every argument that you go through feels like a breakup. Feels like you walking on eggshells. Without a title, an argument feels like the end. With a title, the argument is just an argument. That title provides a safety net that keeps you from crashing every time you disagree. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to step up and demand that safety net. You can't be fully naked, emotional with someone who has one foot out of the door. The title is the license to be fully vulnerable. All right? It says, I'm safe here. All right? And if they playing around and they ain't serious and they withholding the title, then that's telling you to keep your guard up. Put your dukes up. All right. Don't drop your armor until, you feel safe enough to do so. If we are defined, right, then you cutting everything off. You deleting the apps. You deleting phone numbers of potentials. One of the things, if we are denied, then the profile gets updated. You cannot demand exclusivity, time, body, effort, emotion, while denying the definition, which is security. If they're an option to you, then treat them like an option back. All right? If you've been talking for 6 months with no title, 3 months with no title, or 5 months with no title, then you are building history of a squatter. You're living in a house that you do not own, okay? You got to force some type of deed transfer or something. Don't let months and months go on and on and on, because you're building equity in a property that is not yours. It's not planning to be yours. And at this point, you're just putting all your money and resources into something that can be took away at any given time. Real shit. Any given time. And I'm just telling you just based off experience, because I've been there, so I know how it goes. The real explanation for this is simple. We label things we value. We label our cars, our clothes, our jobs. Why not label your person? If they don't label you, then they don't value you. Don't miss a thing that could be stable for you by playing around with the unstable. Don't be a thing. Be something. Be more important. Be a unit. Be a partner. Be all of these things. Be all you can be. All right? But I tell you this, claim your spot or go ahead and unpack your things and clear out your space. That's just coming from me. Again, we'll waste time and we'll sit around here and we'll play around with things that we should have been stop playing around with, but because we feel we have feelings and all that other shit. Yeah, stop wasting time. Real talk. January 10th, I got a live show. I'll explain all this later live. Tickets are on sale right now. My first ever live show. You get to get the Big Smash experience live, indirect. And you're going to have a ball. You're going to have a ball and you're going to have a good time. And plus, you're going to be with me and some of my dope-ass colleagues. All right? Y'all already know what this is, man. I'll explain all this live. .eventbrite.com. That's where you can buy the tickets at. It's going down in a major way. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. Soon enough, I'll be back around. Y'all already know what it is. I'm out.